It's easy to have these huge goals, right? Like completely change your health or master some new skill or just feel better about life.
Mm-hmm. Big ambitions.
Yeah, but what if the real secret isn't just the big target? What if it's actually keeping tabs on the tiny, consistent things you do, like every single day, across, all the different parts of your life?
Well, that kind of focused micro-level attention, it can really act like a powerful feedback loop.
How so?
It shows
Right.
you what's actually happening,
Yeah.
your real progress, the specific bumps in the road, and sometimes the momentum you don't even notice building up.
Exactly. And that's really what we're diving into today. We've got this, well, really unique source material. It's someone's personal workly review, super detailed self-assessment called Life and Habits in Review, TWIR 2025, Week 21.
Yeah, it's a fascinating snapshot. Really shows how one person is trying to intentionally structure their week, tracking a whole bunch of different activities.
So our mission today is to, well, go beyond just reading it. We want to unpack this thing, understand the deeper goals behind all this tracking, see what progress actually looked like for them, from sleep to hobbies to work stuff.
Right, and figure out what principles maybe we can take away from this whole approach to tracking personal habits.
It's kind of looking at intentional living, but like through the lens of actual measurable actions.
Exactly. Specific things you do each day.
Okay, so let's get into it. Right near the start, this review mentions some overarching goals. It talks about empowering yourself to actively and healthily pursue other things.
Mm-hmm. And improving quality of life long term.
Yeah, so it's pretty clear that all these specific habits they're tracking, they're seen as the building blocks for those bigger aims.
Precisely. The habits are the methods, you could say,
Yeah,
and the tracking. That's the map, the feedback system, guiding them towards that bigger picture of a healthier, more capable life.
right. Turning fuzzy desires into concrete actions you can actually track.
You got it. Manageable steps.
So let's start with health. That's the first big section in the review. Sleep. The goal was 7 hours a day. How'd that actually play out this week?
Well, the average for the week came in at 6.43 hours.
Okay, so a bit under.
A bit under, yeah. But what's interesting is how it happened. It started lower, around 6 hours for the first 5 days or so,
Right.
but then it climbed up towards 7 hours near the end of the week. It even hit 8 hours one day.
Wow, okay.
Though they do note that peak involved like 2 separate sleep periods, so maybe a nap was involved.
Ah, gotcha.
But the real point wasn't just the average being slightly off target. It was the reported increase in sleep quality and consistency during the week,
Hmm.
which suggests, that just focusing on it was yielding results, even if the number wasn't perfect yet.
That's a great point. Progress isn't always hitting the exact number, right? It can be about improvement in other ways.
Exactly.
How about walking steps? Target was 5,600 daily.
Yeah, and for the most part, the daily count stayed above that. The weekly average was 6,243 steps.
So consistently above target then.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah.
The numbers ranged a bit, obviously. Low of about 4,000, peak of over 8,800.
Okay.
And the review actually links the higher step counts to specific things. More physical activity, sure, but also just needing to go out for groceries or getting supplies for gardening and fish keeping.
So like everyday life contributing to the goal.
Exactly. Shows how even kind of mundane tasks can count when you're actually tracking them.
Makes sense. And fasting. It mentions the 168 pattern.
Right. 168 intermittent fasting, that stayed consistent all week, according to the review.
So 16 hours fasting, 8-hour eating window.
That's the typical pattern, yeah. And this consistency, along with the sleep tracking we just talked about, kind of connects to the next bit on weight tracking.
Ah, okay. Tell me about the weight. Sounds like it fluctuated a bit.
Exactly, which is totally normal,
Yeah.
The average for the week was around 68.16 kilograms.
Okay.
They noted a slight upward trend from about 67.8 kilograms at the start to 68.20 kilograms by the end. But they also pointed out, quite rightly, that daily changes are just, well, normal.
Sure. Water weight, food, all that stuff.
Yeah. There's a peak of 68.55 kilograms, and the low was that starting 67.80 kilograms within the week. Tracking kind of helps you see those natural ups and downs without freaking out.
Good point. Diet's also in there. A target ratio, like 2-1-1 or 1-2-2 for plants, protein, carbs.
Yeah, the focus was mainly on self-cooked meals,
Yeah.
trying to hit those kinds of ratios, which again, you can see links straight back to the big health goals.
Right.
But the review is realistic too. It mentions occasional takeout and acknowledges cheat days with junk food sometimes.
So not about being perfect 100% of the time.
Doesn't seem like it. More about intention, mostly sticking to the plan.
Got it. And finally, under health, the workout goal, sounds like that one's still a work in progress.
Yeah, that's how it reads. The source says they're still investigating, like looking for an efficient and effective routine.
Okay. So what are they doing now?
Right now, it's more about integrating movement. So light walks, maybe 6 or 7 minutes after meals. Plus, counting physical stuff, like socializing, gardening, house chores as activity.
Interesting. So finding ways to be active while still figuring out the formal workout piece.
Seems like it. Highlights that challenge, right? Finding something dedicated and efficient, and in the meantime, just moving more throughout the day.
Okay, moving on from the physical, let's look at meditation. There's a structured practice described here.
There is, yeah. Sitting meditation, it sounds like they're working through 3 steps. Incorporating some minor tweaks to breathing techniques.
Oh, like what?
It gives specific details, actually, like
Hmm.
placing a palm under the belly button, pushing the tongue to the ceiling,
Mm.
and exploring the 4-7-8 breathing pattern.
Ah, yeah, the inhale, hold, exhale thing. That's a known calming technique.
Right. And the emphasis, again, seems to be on consistency.
More than duration.
That's what it says. Explicitly states consistency outweighs duration, even if it's just 10 breaths per session.
10 breaths. Okay.
There's also walking meditation mentioned, just 1 to 5 minutes, often tied into other activities like those walks after meals or raking leaves, house chores again.
Integrating it into daily life.
Seems to be a theme, doesn't it?
It does. So how did all this meditation practice connect with their reported mental state for the week?
Well, the review noted feeling rather calm,
Okay.
and it specifically attributed this not just to meditation, but to the increased sleep quality we talked about in practicing stoicism.
Ah, interesting connection. Sleep, mindfulness, and philosophy all working together.
Exactly. It's a great example of how tracking might help you see those intersections,
Yeah.
how different habits might combine to affect your state of mind.
Makes sense. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Skill building and managing daily life stuff. Cooking came up again here.
It did, but viewed more as a skill to develop, not just diet.
Yeah.
This week, the focus was apparently on learning to prep vegetables faster, more effectively.
Practical.
Yeah, specifically mentions making regular miso soup with veggies, prawn, tofu, beans.
Sounds pretty healthy.
Definitely. And there's also a goal listed about cooking different egg recipes. But this week, the practice was just regular hard-boiled eggs.
Huh. Okay, so progress on one front, status quo on another.
Exactly. Shows that not every single goal gets action every single week, even when you're tracking it.
True. There's also this really interesting, almost kind of quirky method for decluttering mentioned.
Oh yeah, the minimalist approach. It's quite specific. The method this week was clear one item, just one, from anywhere in the house, front yard, backyard, whatever, catches your eye, literally on the way to the kitchen.
One item a day, just like that.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
It's a unique way to make decluttering this tiny, constant, almost automatic thing.
I can see how that could add up without feeling overwhelming.
Right. But the review also notes that the bigger workspace decluttering goal, things like replacing curtains, sorting out a neglected drawer, didn't happen this week.
So even with the one item habit, bigger tasks can still get pushed.
Yep. Reality check again. Intentionality doesn't mean everything gets done instantly.
Okay, let's move to knowledge and creativity.
Ah.
Reading. Seems like it's framed around improving writing, consuming wisely, boosting mental health. What was actually read this week?
The review mentions one specific thing, reading a post about controlling the 3 highs.
Blood pressure, blood sugar, blood lipids.
Exactly. And the key takeaway, the insight they noted, was that understanding how the body works, how it processes food, directly makes you more aware of your diet.
Ah, so connecting reading directly back to the health goals again.
Yep, definitely seeing that cross-pollination. There's also a general goal mentioned, dedicate maybe 5 to 10 minutes a day to just browsing interesting books. This week, that meant skimming some fiction in gardening titles.
Okay. And writing. Look like a few goals listed there.
The main ones mentioned are publishing 2 posts per day and also reading back old posts.
Oh, okay. What kind of writing happened?
This week, it was regular writing on topics they're interested in, gardening, fish keeping, AI stuff.
Right.
But here's where it gets really interesting, I thought. They found value in listening to a podcast of their own writing.
Listening to their own stuff.
Yeah. Apparently, hearing it read back helped clarify thoughts, maybe expose new insights. It's a creative use of one medium, podcasting, to improve another, writing.
That is interesting, like getting an external perspective on your own work.
Kinda, yeah. But there was also a specific goal mentioned, a blog about interesting tech PRs or libraries, things like Go, Python, Elixir, Erlang, Rust. They use the acronym GPEAR.
Okay.
That one was noted as not achieved this week.
Got it. And photography. Was there
Yeah.
movement there?
The goal is specific.
Mm.
Find the best macro lens for a mobile phone. The reviews update. Pretty simple. Nothing happened on this goal this week.
Okay.
Straightforward. Another example of not everything moved forward all at once.
Exactly.
All right, let's shift into hobbies. Connecting with nature seems important here. Fish keeping is one.
Yeah, there's some thinking mentioned about how to use a yellow-blue rack. Sounds like some kind of shelving for both gardening and fish keeping purposes.
Combining interests.
Yeah.
Smart use of space, maybe? Could be. And the really exciting news, from their perspective anyway, was finding and buying a bonded pair of zebra cichlids, specifically for breeding.
Oh, cool. So where did they put them?
Decided to put them in what they call the gourami pond.
Hmm.
And the reasoning was interesting. They'd observed that guppies had already bred successfully in there, even with gourami and swordfish present.
So using past observations from their own setup to make a decision, like a little experiment.
Exactly, applying their own empirical data, basically.
Nice. And gardening.
Big news, there was a seed germination project officially started this week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a notable detail, they got 21 new species of plant seeds this week. And just, the hope that they actually sprout.
21 new species. That's ambitious.
It is. There's also a plan mentioned to set up 4 new gardening workspaces. Concrete next step.
Okay. Any challenges?
Yep. Resuming some painting work on the backyard balcony got held up by sporadic weather. Another example of, external factors messing with plans.
Happens all the time with outdoor stuff.
For sure.
Okay, finally, coding. What were the goals and activities going on there?
The main goal stated is daily PR contributions. That's pull requests for anyone unfamiliar. Little contributions like documentation fixes, CI improvements, test cases.
These specific languages.
Yeah, that GPR list again. Go Python, Elixir, Erlang, Rust, or related projects.
Okay. And what did that look like this week?
The activity was described as hopping through GitHub repositories, addressing trivial typos across various interesting projects.
Huh. So small fixes, but consistent engagement.
Seems like it. A way to touch base daily, even if it's not like writing a whole new feature.
Makes sense. And what about personal or recreational coding projects?
That area involved a couple of things. Still evaluating ways to improve how they use LLMs, large language models, AI stuff.
Right, for what purpose?
Specifically with tools for improving or maybe refactoring Python projects, and also continuing a migration to use UV.
Ah, UV. That's the newer, faster Python project and dependency management tool, right? Get popular.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So keeping up with newer tools in their field.
Okay. So, wow. We've covered this huge range: sleep, steps, fasting, cooking, meditating, reading, writing code, keeping fish, growing plants, decluttering.
Yeah, it's a lot.
When you step back and look at this whole picture, this incredible variety of tracked habits, how does it all tie back to those big goals we started with? Health, quality of life, empowerment.
Well, I think if you connect the dots, what you're seeing is someone actively trying to design and measure their life. Across physical health, sure, but also mental state, practical skills, learning, creativity, even just connecting with nature through hobbies. Each tiny tracked action, whether it's like 10 breaths of meditation or clearing one piece of clutter or fixing a typo in some code somewhere, it seems like it's viewed as a deliberate step. A step towards improving overall well-being, building competence, feeling more in control.
So the power isn't just in doing the things.
Right. It seems like the power is also in the intentionality of tracking them. Using that data, that information, as a constant feedback loop to keep the momentum going, make small adjustments across this really wide range of interests and responsibilities.
That makes a lot of sense. It's not really about being perfect in any one area, is it? It's more about applying a system of intention, of measurement to try and build progress kind of everywhere at once.
Exactly. It's the consistent application of a process, turning those big abstract life goals into like a series of daily and weekly experiments and observations.
So thinking about this deep dive into just one person's week, what does it mean for you listening right now? This review, it gives us this really tangible example, doesn't it, of structuring, reviewing personal habits across so many different parts of life.
Yeah. And it highlights that progress, well, it often isn't just about hitting every single target perfectly.
Right. It's more of a blend, meeting some goals, facing the reality of challenges like, the weather messing up gardening plans or still figuring out a workout routine.
And just consistently putting in those small measured efforts across the whole board.
So it kind of encourages us to think about this approach for our own habits, maybe.
Definitely. What areas in your life might benefit from a little more focus? Or maybe a more structured approach like this one? Could tracking small steps consistently actually make a difference for you?
And maybe here's a final thought to chew on after this deep dive. When you look at this incredibly detailed log of a week, all focused on specific habits and goals, what is the fundamental relationship between the act of tracking itself, staying consistent, and actually achieving that long-term personal growth?
Hmm. Does the simple act of measuring and reviewing your habits fundamentally change how you live the week?
Or does it mostly just give you a really detailed record of what happened anyway? Something to think about.